What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Alatorre. Join the family, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as long as you promise, pinky promise, to always keep things positive here. Positive vibes always and only. Today's video is going to be all about looking refreshed and awake. Something that I suffer with, if you guys didn't know, is always waking up puffy. I have moderate to chronic dry eyes, and oftentimes it leads to my eyes being really puffy, which is kind of like a dead giveaway that I look tired. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but if my eyes are puffy or swollen shut, I clearly look tired or like something's wrong or off. So I have quite a bit of tips and tricks up my sleeve that I can share with you guys that'll have you looking, feeling awake and refreshed first thing in the morning. All the steps I'm going to show today, you don't have to do all of them at once. You can do some or all. It's really up to you guys and how tired you're looking or feeling. But I'm hoping it'll have you feeling like you're ready to conquer the day. So let's get into it. We are about to look like we had 100 hours of beauty sleep, but we didn't. So first, matcha. Actually, first, let me remove my Invisalign aligners because you had to remove them if you're having anything aside from water. And I want to give you guys a little update on my treatment. Just a reminder, Invisalign is sponsoring my treatment. Thank you so much, because without you guys, I probably would have prolonged the process even longer, and it's honestly been so easy and so effortless. I'm so thankful for this treatment. So I just want to give you guys an update. Remove it, so sexy. I'm going to put them in my little cleaning container. It already has the Invisalign cleaning crystals in there, so I'm gonna let this sit and clean while I freshen up for the day. I am currently on my last set of aligners. Oh, I cannot believe it. So many of you have been commenting on my teeth and how straight they look and how impressed you are with the progress. I will be doing a before and after. I do have to go back to my ortho for final. I think they go in and fine tune everything. I can't wait to see my final results, even though everything already looks amazing. And thank you guys for noticing. I appreciate you. By the way, Invisalign aligners are made out of a material called Smart Track, which is completely different than all other aligners that are similar to Invisalign that are out there. So it's incredibly durable. However, it does need to be cleaned, hence why I let it sit while I wake myself up in the morning. So next, matcha, the only way to wake up in the morning. Healthy source of caffeine. I will link my recipe up here for you guys. This one tastes like lemonade. It is delicious and perfect for the morning. First, if you can, splash your face with icy cold water. I find this is the best way to wake yourself up first thing in the morning, and if I had a sink in front of me, I would do it right here, right now, but I don't. So just keep that in mind. Next, I like to wipe my skin down with a toner, sometimes a micellar water, but someone told me not to overuse micellar waters because they can actually remove all the healthy bacteria from your skin. I sometimes use the Kogendo cleansing spa water if I feel like I need a micellar water and I feel like my face is a little more dirty. If not, I use the Thayers Witch Hazel Aloe Vera alcohol-free toner, unscented. The reason for this is when we sleep, our skin picks up a lot of bacteria from our pillow. Make sure you're washing your pillows often. They hold a lot of bacteria, dirt, and grime. Our skin is picking up that bacteria, which can lead to breakouts, which is why it's important to not only splash your face with water to wake up, but also disinfect. So I'm just gonna use a cotton round and the toner to wipe my skin clean before I do anything else to it. I just recently discovered these Rodial vitamin C brightening cleansing pads, and oh my god, my skin immediately after using one of these looked so much brighter and clearer. I don't know if it was in my head or whatnot. Hopefully it shows on camera, but typically if I was just gonna go to the gym, I wasn't planning on going anywhere, I wouldn't do any sort of skin treatment. I keep it basic, but I'm doing this with the assumption of you're going to work or you're just trying to look awake, maybe for like a brunch, a little boozy brunch, a day with the girls or boys. So I'm gonna use one of these cleansing pads from Rodial. I do keep a lot of my skincare in a mini fridge that I recently acquired for my office. I know it seems a little extra, but I have so many skincare products and I feel like they're going bad just sitting in room temperature in the bathroom. So keeping them cold prolongs their shelf life. Also just feels incredible first thing in the morning, especially if you wake up incredibly puffy like me. So these pads are nice and icy cold, and I essentially just work these in a circular motion onto the skin. Vitamin C in general is just a great ingredient to incorporate into your skincare routine. These are on the pricey side. If not, get the vitamin C serum I mentioned in a past video from The Ordinary. I will link it down below because I don't have it on hand. It comes in a little squeezy tube. That one is so good, and you can just mix it in with your hyaluronic acid and apply it as a one step, and you're good to go. So again, this step is just extra, additional. Because it's a pad, I'm using it first. If it was just the serum, I wouldn't do the vitamin C just yet. Hold off, because we're gonna do a couple other little extra things before we get to the vitamin C, but just want to emphasize because that is on a little cotton round, that is why I did it now. If not, you would be kind of like wiping away all the skincare that you applied prior to the vitamin C pad. To further depuff, like I said, I wake up extremely puffy, especially around the eye area. So I love products containing caffeine. I discovered this Ordinary caffeine solution in 5% plus EGCG, which is a derivative of matcha, the green tea leaf. So because it is a serum, you can apply it all over, but you can also apply this to the eye area, which is great. Again, kept it in the fridge, so it's icy cold. So I'm just gonna go ahead and first apply it to the eyes. So I take a little drop on my fingertip. And I don't try to warm it up like most products. I keep it nice and cold, tap it underneath my eyes and my brow bone, and then just work it in. And then I will directly apply a few other drops to the rest of my face. This next item to me has to be the best invention that ever happened to my puffy eyes. Eye patches. These are by Pixi. They're called the DetoxifEYE Depuffing Eye Patches. I'm pretty sure they have another formula in these with collagen and peptides. So they have more so an anti-aging one and a depuffing one. I obviously gravitated towards the depuffing, but I would gladly go and purchase the other set of eye patches. I just recently discovered that when I followed them on or saw their post on Instagram. For this one, you get 60 patches, 30 pairs. They retail for 28 bucks. In comparison, let's look up the Peter Thomas Roth one. Okay, so the Peter Thomas Roth eye patches retail for, what? They retail for $75. 60 patches for $75 versus $28 for the same amount. So these are very, very worth it to me. I always put these on in the morning. I love that they come like this. So you get a ton soaked in serum in a container. Again, keep them in the fridge, plop them on. Ugh, they feel so nice. My next favorite item, next to the matcha and the eye patches, is this Nurse Jamie face roller. Again, it doesn't have to be this item. It can be any face roller, jade rollers, rose quartz rollers, any face roller. You can get them off Amazon. I've bought several off Amazon that aren't nearly as expensive as this one. I just like this one because I find that it rolls on its own. It's not tugging or pulling at the skin, and it has these little stones added to it that I feel just give you an added massage. Again, this is an item I keep in the fridge, so it's icy cold. It's gonna help to depuff because it's cold, but also it's going to help with lymphatic drainage. So I learned a while back when traveling with the Clarins team to Paris, I learned from one of their experts to always apply skincare and massage your skin in the direction of the lymphatic system in order to drain the lymphatic system. So when it comes to the face, you take the roller and you roll in the direction of the lymphatic system, which is center of the face outward. And when it comes to the neck, you want to roll down. I roll over the eye patches. And I usually set a timer for maybe set a minute for one side, a minute for the other side, and then a minute for down the neck. You can even roll over your eyelids and brow bone. It's just the best. Face roller, eye patches, matcha. All right, after it's been a couple minutes, we can take these off, work the remaining serum onto the eye area, and then go in with an eye cream. And my eye cream also contains caffeine. This is a very highly caffeinated tutorial. I forgot to grab my eye cream. Too much caffeine. I've been testing this one out from, I think it's called the Inkey list, and it's just labeled Caffeine Eye Cream. That's about it. I saw it on Sephora and I was like, that looks really interesting. So I decided to give it a try and I really like it. The texture is really lightweight, almost like a gel cream, not a heavy moisturizer, not a very light gel. It's somewhere in between. So it's perfect for day wear, it doesn't feel heavy. I don't try to warm it up before applying it. I just kind of tap it between my fingers and then pat it on. I always do any eye products like eye creams, eye serums before the rest of the face because the eyes are so sensitive, and mine in particular are extremely sensitive, and I don't want any other products getting on that sensitive eye area. So eye cream first, always. Then hyaluronic acid. This is gonna add a ton of hydration, and sometimes the reason that you're puffy is because you're dehydrated. So adding hyaluronic acid actually hydrates the skin from within. It doesn't just sit on top. Love this one from The Ordinary. It's very affordable. I also love the one from Dermalogica. But this one I had in the fridge, so it's also cold. However, I do tend to warm my face products up, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Just keeping it in the fridge for the sake of extending the shelf life. But I just warm it up between my hands and press it onto my skin, applying it all over. By this point, the caffeine serum should be very well absorbed, so you shouldn't experience any crumbling, or you know when the serums don't mix well and they kind of crumble or peel off your face. You won't experience that with these products because each step has a good amount of time to really settle into the skin and work well with others. They all play well together. When I went to grab the rest of my serums, I found the vitamin C serum I mentioned. So I just want to show it to you guys. I'm not going to apply it because I did use the vitamin C pads from Rodial, but this is the vitamin C suspension, 23% plus HA spheres, which is also hyaluronic acid, 2% a water-free, silicone-free, stable suspension vitamin C. If you mix this with your hyaluronic acid, so I mix it with The Ordinary, I sometimes mix it with the Dermalogica one, it mixes really well, gets rid of the gritty texture that this has. It does have a very gritty powder-like texture, but when you mix it with the hyaluronic serum, it goes on really smoothly. So highly recommend these 3 items from The Ordinary, and they are very much affordable. All right, for my moisturizer, the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask can be used as a moisturizer. It doesn't have to just be an overnight mask. It also works great as a primer before makeup. So I feel like you get multiple benefits from this one product. It also has a slight peppermint scent to it, which is really, really refreshing, especially if you wake up tired and puffy. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over as a bit of skin prep. And you can really layer this on because your skin sort of just absorbs this product, which is why it's great as a mask. You can really layer it on and just watch your skin absorb it, drink it up. Or you can go in with a thin layer. It's kind of personal preference. Apply according to your skin type. If you're dry, add more. If you're oily, maybe use a little less. But it is great for all skin types. This is the best lip balm. This is the Clarins Moisture Replenishing Lip Balm. It's so good if you wake up with really dry lips. Use this before you go to bed and in the morning, and I promise you, you'll never have dry lips again. I have tried so many lip balms out there, and a lot of them contain lanolin, which actually further dries out my lips. This one is made with rose wax, and I love it so much I bought like 4 the other day. And it's not a cheap lip balm. Okay, for makeup, we're gonna do the least amount of makeup possible. Again, this isn't a glam look. It's not a makeup tutorial. It's just getting you to look awake and refreshed and revived. So first up, you want a concealer that has a peachy salmon undertone. That's gonna help to really brighten up the under eye area. You don't need a concealer that's your skin tone, because if you have dark under eye circles, if you try and cover it with a concealer that is your exact skin match, it can still show up a little gray. So I really love this Lancome Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage Concealer in the shade 260 Bisque. But again, anything with this salmon peachy undertone should work. Another great example is Nars' Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. Also, the shade Ginger for a medium to darker skin tone. So I'm just going to take the smallest amount possible and a concealer brush, and let me just show you the color of the concealer. And what's interesting is that if you pick the right shade for your under eyes with that salmon peachy undertone, it doesn't look orange underneath your eyes, it just brightens, which is what this concealer does, and also Honey by Nars. So don't go too heavy with it, just apply what you need to cover this area right here. Have your beauty blender on deck or in this case, the Ofra sponge. I feel so bad, I always do that. I call every sponge a beauty blender, and just tap it in. And if you also have a little bit of discoloration on your eyelid, you can drag whatever concealer is left over on the sponge onto that area without it feeling like a lot or feeling heavy. And then let me show you guys a before and after. Before I add concealer to the other side, you can see that this just looks so much brighter versus the darkness I'm getting underneath this eye on this side. So I'm gonna balance everything out and then we'll move on to the next step. So I can't be looking tired on camera. If you have under eyes that don't crease a ton, you can get away with not using any powder if you're just using a small amount of concealer. That is not my case. My under eyes, for whatever reason, I know they don't look wrinkly, but the way they fold causes a lot of concealer creasing, so I have to use powder no matter what. I'm just gonna use the Mercier powder, and I'm gonna press in a very, very small amount with that same sponge, just to ensure that I don't crease and give away the fact that I am wearing concealer. Also add it to your eyelids if you added concealer to that area because it will crease. I'm gonna be using the Milk Kush Clear Brow Gel. It's a little softer, not as heavy duty as the Anastasia one or the Benefit one. It just ends up looking more natural, like you don't have brow product in your brows. I like to brush the brow hairs up to give the eyes a more awake look, more lifted. And then my last absolute essential would be mascara. Not a ton of mascara, just enough, again, to lift the eyes. I'm gonna be using Maybelline Snapscara in the shade Black Cherry. If you have hazel eyes, green eyes, possibly even blue eyes, or like light caramel colored eyes, this really makes your eyes pop because it looks like a really deep purple. Even though on the eyes or the lashes you can't tell, it just enhances your eye color because it has that undertone to it. And I just lightly sweep mascara onto the outer lashes and the very end. Again, I'm not trying to make it look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. I'm just trying to look fresh. You can also add a small amount to the lower lashes just to balance things out. And my final step is always a mist. It just makes you look refreshed, especially this Dermalogica Antioxidant Hydramist. It leaves your skin really glowy and dewy, which I feel like always looks fresher than dry, dull skin. So I'm gonna spray myself with this, and then I have one final trick up my sleeve for you guys that doesn't involve makeup or skincare. For my final trick, I'm gonna remove this headband, and I'm actually gonna put my hair up. I find that wearing my hair up when I'm tired makes me look more awake because it gives me an instant facelift, and you can either do a full-blown ponytail, which I think is really fresh, or my favorite hairdo that you guys see me wear over and over again. I have a tutorial on this as well that I will link up here for you guys, and that's the half up, half down poof. It gives you a little facelift by pulling the eyes back, which is gonna make you look more awake. Those are all the tricks I have up my sleeve for you guys. Again, remember, you don't have to do all of these steps. You can pick and choose which ones, or if you're like me and you're like, no, Melissa, I wake up looking so tired, maybe you'll do all of them. But these are my best tips that I have for you guys that'll have you looking refreshed and awake, and most of all, highly caffeinated. The matcha is definitely kicking in, so I gotta go and do some stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, leave them down below for me. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Mwah.